Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Welcome back to Take a Listing Today podcast. Can you believe it? Show number 54, Todd.
54, we have some momentum.
We might make it to 55. Who knows? Jim Studebaker over here, and there's Todd Robertson.
And our producer in the corner, Lisa Gray, in the house.
As always, 54. Was that a 4 or 5? There you go, 54. You're getting ahead of yourself there. Welcome to our show today, and don't forget to visit our website, takealistingtoday.com. You can learn about our upcoming shows and join us on future podcasts. You might win some great prizes, or you might not. Time will tell. But today we have another installment of our Agent Domination Series interviews.
And boy, are they in for a treat today.
Oh, absolutely. On the line with us today is Gary Carpenter. Hello, Gary.
Hey!
Welcome. There he is. Welcome to our show. So the Agent Domination is a series we've created where we spend time talking to agents who are dominating in their market, and that fits Gary Carpenter. He is with MRG Realty, and where are you located at, Gary?
I am located in Omaha, Nebraska, home of the College World Series.
Wow, are we having college games
not this
season?
year anyway.
Right,
not
exactly.
This year.
Omaha,
That's
Nebraska. Throw out your website or phone number if people want to get in touch or have a referral for you out in that part of the world.
Well, they can reach me at 402-680-7000, or you can also email me at gary@mrgomaha.com.
And Lisa, of course, you're going to put that in the notes for the show as well,
awesome.
right? Yes. All right. Well, Gary, thank you for being with us today. I noticed on your website your team core values. One of your values is live up to my standards despite temptations to lower them. Can you explain to our audience what that means?
Well, okay, standards, right? So, I always like to give credit because that is not a core value that we created. Is actually a core value that I adopted from my mentor, Floyd Wickman. Actually, we have 5 core values, and that happens to be one of them. And as far as standards, if I just use an example within our business, it's commission, right? I mean, I get, we can't really talk about commissions or set commissions or anything else, but we charge 6%. And that's, if somebody else asks us to charge lower, we stick to our guns with our commission structure, and we just think we're worth it. We have a good value proposition, and so when it comes to those types of standards in our business, we have kind of a concierge service. So it's like, for every listing that we get, you always have problems at the end as far as potentially the house is not clean enough for the new buyer. So we make sure that we have a cleaning service come in. We have moving trucks that help them. So we have a lot of referral-based businesses that we reach out to that make the experience of the buyer and the seller with us a little bit better. So that way, obviously, that encourages them to talk about their experience a little bit more with other, people that they hang out with, their tribe, if you will. And I think also, too, those core values not only go with our business, they also translate into our personal lives, our family. I've got 4 kids. I've been married to my business partner and soulmate for 28 years. And obviously we have standards for our kids. We have standards for, being the example versus, not just saying what you do, but you actually are the example and living the example. So
that's great. So you are in real estate like the one-stop shop where you can offer all of these services together.
Yeah. Yep.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. And I wanted to ask you a question that's not on here, but as we were getting ready for this, and I thought you're probably the best guy in the country because, we talk to agents every day about our marketing stuff and some want certain campaigns, right? What about mindset? What about the agent that wakes up, right? Because I know you do some coaching. You guys have an incredible real estate business that you built, and we want to hear more about that. What about the agent that maybe has got beat up at the last 2 listing appointments and their spirits are low, or they're like, oh, God, I don't want to go out and prospect today, or, and with all the stuff going on, I mean, that's more reason to get into their mind to sabotage, right? To give them an excuse to just say, I'm going to wait for the business. Mm-hmm. What do you say? I mean, where do you take that?
How would I coach that agent, basically, is what you're asking?
Right. If we have an agent,
advice would be?
Correct. If they're listening and watching right now, if there's an agent that's having some challenges with mindset, what would you give them there?
This too shall pass, right?
Nice. Yep.
I mean, that's an old quote, biblical quote, but it's true. And it doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. This too shall pass. I mean, that's what I was taught a long time ago, again, by Floyd Wickman, taught me that, in the good times, make sure that you are, saving money, you're, again, putting money away for taxes, putting money in savings and everything else, because the good times will pass and there will be hard times. Just like if you are in hard times, it's okay. Just be patient with it, because the good times are just right around the corner. But also, too, when things aren't going so well, and for that agent that you were just describing that maybe is having a little bit tougher time because of the market that's going on right now, is it just consistency? You need to be consistent. Whether it's mailing something, you need to be consistent with it. Whether it's, making phone calls, you just need to be consistent. Don't necessarily be attached to the immediate result, because it's consistency over time that tells the true story. It's not consistency over a week, or I'm going to mail one thing out and did you get anything from that? Or I made 10 phone calls today, did you generate any leads? Some days you're going to generate great leads, some days you're not going to generate any leads. Can I share a personal story that we had this week?
Sure, that'd be great.
So we had the most leads that we've ever generated, which were 17 last week. And the reason why I know that is because we track our numbers. And from one referral source, which I can go through and I can say, I know exactly how many times I've mailed this person, how many times I've emailed this person, how many times this person has showed up to our parties, how many times, everything. I know we keep some pretty detailed stuff in our sphere of influence. And he sent us 7 leads. In just one phone call, he's selling a house, he's buying a house, he's got an aunt who's selling a house, selling a rental property. The person they actually going to use us to sell their house, and they found the buyer that the buyer needs to sell their house. So and that didn't happen by accident.
Right.
That happened from consistency over time of being involved. And I can recite probably a handful of situations like that happen. So I think that if somebody's struggling right now, obviously they need somebody to kind of give them that upbeat, pat on the back and just kind of, maybe even,
slap on the back,
them around a little bit and say, you know what, get over it, move on, start making some more phone calls. So it's no different, Todd, I think, than if an agent loses a deal, right?
Right.
And they go on a listing appointment, they lose a deal, and they're feeling all bad because they lost the deal. And to me, to be honest, after being 25 years in the business, it's just because they don't have enough of something's happening that they get down because they lose.
That's a good point. They had a deal, not deals, singular, not plural, correct? You're right. If they had deals,
know the pipeline.
They would know it's a numbers game and some are going to fall apart. But if they only have that one, their whole world falls apart. Right.
Right. Well, let me ask you, Gary. You've been in business for a while. If you could turn back the clock and you could speak to yourself as you are starting your real estate career, and hopefully the answer is not don't do it, what advice would you have for yourself, knowing what you know now, if you were starting your career?
I think it's just consistency, right? Just knowing that this is a marathon and it's not a sprint. And there is no easy button in real estate. There really isn't. Everybody that is trying to, push that easy button with a website and getting pay-per-click leads, Zillow leads, and all that type of stuff. And it's just hard work. It's hard work. You've got to put in the time. And I think that probably the one thing that we focus on the most, that I would probably tell my maybe myself if I was, 25 years ago, is to focus on a pipeline. Focus on building a pipeline. Do not worry about listings. Do not worry about sales. When you make phone calls, connect with people on a high level and fill a pipeline. And to me, a pipeline is anybody who says they think they're selling or they think they're buying. And so I could show you my pipeline right now. We've got 42 people in the pipeline, whether they're thinking about buying or they're thinking about selling. We know what price range possibly their house is going to sell for. We know what kind of price range they're going to be looking in. I've got it broken out to what kind of commission we're going to make from that. So my pipeline has a value to it. And that's where your now business is going to go from. So I would tell somebody, create your own Zillow, create your own pay-per-click, and that's through your database. So.
Well, and I like what you said because it takes the pressure off of prospecting. Like, oh my God, am I going to get this? Oh my God, You're talking about going out and building your business base, as we called it in Prospects Plus. Go build those relationships. You guys are doing something that agents have heard about, but most don't have the chutzpah or the consistency to put that in place. True?
Well, I think I think that everybody has heard about it and everybody would do it, but it's the accountability part. I mean, I think that we have consciously put accountability in place, whether it's having a coach, whether it's taking some kind of a training program that has helped us. I mean, the thing that I love about real estate is, I didn't go to college. My wife did. So the difference is between us, if I ever bring it up, she went to college. She spent, lots of money that I ended up paying off for her with her when we got married. But
hey, she's not listening right now. She's not watching, is she?
Right.
She's out prospecting, okay?
But the funny part is that this is a learnable business as long as you're willing to make the commitment to learn the business. I think the only thing that I've ever seen that's not teachable in real estate is likability. Right? The only thing you can do with likability is to tell somebody that they're not likable. But then you become not liked when you tell somebody that they're not likable, right? So, but at the same time, if you're likable, you're referable. And if you're referable, it's just a matter of staying top of mind with a certain group of people. And it doesn't have to be a large amount. We have 462 people, families, households, that we mail out to, that we call, that we market to, that we try to stay top of mind to. And from that, we generate probably anywhere from 80, and we're not knocking the doors off of, but personally, between my wife and I, anywhere from 80 to 110 transactions a year.
Sweet.
So I actually have a question, Gary. It's Lisa. So when you're talking about database, I think of Sphere, and then you're just talking about families that you're marketing to, so I'm thinking farm. Can you drill down a little bit and talk about maybe a little bit more about that process, or give some action steps for agents in those two areas, if that's what you're referring to, that could get them going in the right direction?
So you're saying you're talking about how do we stay top of mind with our database?
Yes, when you're saying fill that pipeline, what are the action steps that you would say? How does an agent start to fill that pipeline? What are some action steps they can take? Okay.
Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to create the database in order to mail, call, see, email, social media to, right?
Okay.
So when you look at a database of people that are in your target area, family, friends, acquaintances, every time you run into somebody, you're getting the correct information so that you can mail them, so that you can call them and invite them and have conversations with them, so that you can email them. I am big on birthdays. Hey, Todd, is it your birthday? Todd, I heard it was your birthday.
My birthday.
Your birthday.
Yeah, it is coming up, actually. And the mail works from your state to mine. I know the mail delivery service, it's an essential business, yeah.
So if it was your birthday, I would do something like, again, trying to separate myself. And again, this is me getting out of my comfort zone, but I'd shoot a little video and I would just say, hey, Todd, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday on your most special day of the year. And just wanted to give you a shout out. And oh, by the way, I'm feeling a little songy. Happy birthday. So then I'd go through the whole birthday thing with them. But it's, to me, to answer your question, Lisa, first of all, you've got to have that, and it could start with 40 people. It doesn't have to be 150, it doesn't have to be 462, but it's something that you're consciously building. And then you're going to mail them something once a month, which, I don't know, Prospects Plus might have something that they could be mailed to them. We do a newsletter once a month. And then, we do events throughout the year. We have 4 parties a year. And then we're emailing. So anytime we have an event, it's an opportunity for us to mail. It's an opportunity for us to reach out and call them and not talk about real estate. It's an opportunity for us to email them something. It's an opportunity for us to post, do a video on, whatever the case may be. But we're constantly doing events, and it's just, again, there's something called the reticular reactivator, right?
Right.
And so it's like when you go and you buy a car, right? You go buy a car, you drive the car off the lot. What do you start noticing, right? You start noticing other cars like the one that you just purchased, right? So to me, if I call you, have a conversation, then all of a sudden that reticular reactivator is on. The next 48 hours, there's a good opportunity that you might run into somebody thinking about buying or selling real estate. And hopefully I'm top of mind that you give me a call. So now I'm going to send you a thank you note for having a conversation with me on the phone. Then you may get a newsletter from me, and then you may get an invite, an email, a newsletter, maybe another random phone call, whatever the case may be. But that's keeping us top of mind. That's the only thing that I look at with marketing, is that's what it helps us do, is stay top of mind with them. So
how often do you...
Does that answer your question, Lisa?
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
How to follow up on that, how often do you get in touch with people in your pipeline? Do you have a set number of days between touches?
No, they are treated much differently, because I believe that not everybody's treated equally within your database. If somebody has raised their hand and said, we're thinking about buying, we're thinking about selling, but they just don't have a time frame yet, and that could be somebody, honestly, that is somebody who's listed with us. They're in our pipeline, but they're in a different type of communication, and yes, they are. But, it's easy to have communications with somebody that you've listed their house, because you're just in contact with them all the time up until they close the deal, right? It's the people that aren't necessarily in your pipe, that you're not listed, or you're driving around showing houses. So they're invited to all of our parties. They're getting probably a Valentine's Day message. They're probably getting we send out what's called a letter from the heart once a month. We do a contest once a month called Fun Day Monday, which is, again, just for us to have like micro conversations with people, that type of stuff. So, but yes, we are in more contact with the pipeline than we are maybe with just the broad database.
Nice.
All right, we're running out of time. I apologize for that, but I would like to ask you, if you had an agent that you were speaking with and they said, Gary, I want to dominate this particular area, what piece of advice would you give that agent? What tool would you say, you've got to use this if you want to dominate?
So when you're talking about, are you talking about farm area, or do you have anything specific?
Yeah, a farm area, a geographical area that the agent says, you know what, this is my area. It's got the right type of homes in it based on their value. It's got the right type. It's close to my house, so I don't have to drive very far.
Well, you might want to use the market dominator. I know there's a market dominator piece out there.
You know what? He did that so he can get on a future show. That was smart. That was smart.
Tell me about this market dominator. Is that good?
But for us, when it comes to farm area, again, we have 2,200 people in a farm area that we've been farming for 12 years, okay? And so we literally dominate the area because we do about 22 to 30 deals a year just in the farm, whether it's representing a buyer that's coming to the area or representing the seller or representing both sides. And so we do 4 events a year. We do a block party one quarter. We do a trash pickup day one quarter. We do a sponsored garage sale. And there's one other thing, I can't remember what it is, but we're constantly in the, on the 4th of July, we did 2,000 flags. We put flags
Nice.
throughout the whole subdivision. We had our little business card on there and stuff like that. So, but it's again, to me, dominating a specific area is how you are staying top of mind. Because I get frustrated like today. I drove my son to whatever, and there's another sign, not ours. We didn't get the phone call to be able to go over there. I still kind of take that personal, because it's like, dude, I've been putting flags in your yard. You didn't like them. But we've been, mailing, and we work with, because the nice thing about our subdivision, and again, it's being able to capitalize what's already going on in the subdivision too. They do a quarterly newsletter that we market in, and they hand deliver those to each individual house. So I think, just trying to be involved in the community, because the Market Dominator is a great piece to send out, but at the same time, you've got to follow that up with some kind of action, whether it's making phone calls to the subdivision,
Right.
door knocking the subdivision, doing some kind of events and that type of stuff. But if you truly want to dominate an area, you've got to be able to say, people have got to be saying, even though they may not call you, they know who you are.
Exactly. I want to go back to one thing you said earlier, and his contact info will be underneath this, right? If people want to get in touch. I like what you said earlier about this business of real estate. It's 100% learnable, right? Understandable. And the way Tony Robbins put it, let's say somebody wants to go in and become a plumber. Well, there's no guesswork. You start here, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you get a certificate, you're a plumber. So he said 20%, right, of any business. If you want to become a roofer, a realtor, it's 20%. The 80% is the human psychology that says, what's going to get me to think like you? What's going to get me to go take massive action? And what's going to get me to push and to stay consistent and separate myself? And that's how he put it. He goes, every business, a stockbroker, anyone could take that test and get there. Well, why don't they all make the same amount of money? Because they don't have that 80% of human psychology, or they haven't worked on themselves enough to maybe get there, correct?
Yeah.
So I like how you put that, and he put it there, the 80-20. So the 20% is doable. The 80% is conversations like this. What else are you going to do? What are you going to work on? How are you going to get yourself to take massive action when you've been beat up, like you talked about mindset-wise? So that's awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, Todd, I think, from a standpoint of right now, somebody could just be listening to this, and if they truly wanted to get better, when they know that you guys will help them be successful, I will help them become successful. So we've given them information to be able to reach out. So they're the ones that have to take the action in order to make that happen. So.
Nice.
Exactly.
Todd, should we give Gary a copy of your book, or should we make him earn it?
We should win it. He's got a great mind. Let's see if he could win it with a question. Are
you up for that, Gary? The book.
And well, he's already got the $25 gift card because we emailed that from his show.
Right.
I don't think he's read Rossi's book. Have you read Jerry Rossi's book? Called The Third Eye. Okay.
The dog's third eye. What is it?
The dog's third eye.
Hey, Todd, sometimes it's all in the title.
Exactly.
You know what? I want to call Rossi and ask him if he knows about the reticular reactivator.
He'll talk to you for 45 minutes about that. Yeah.
That'll be a new book. That'll be his next book.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Gary, I pulled a question off the top. It's very easy. We want you to win. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. What does the Roman numeral C represent?
Ooh, the Roman numeral C. And now that he's on camera, we know he's not Googling and using his phone. This is good.
Right.
This is good.
Keep your hands where we can see them.
Yes.
Okay.
You said you were going to make this easy. Time, T, I have no idea.
C as in cat.
Hit the button.
C like cat. Right.
Any guesses?
C.
C as in cat.
C like cat.
100. Does it stand for 100?
See, apparently it was easy, wasn't it? That is correct.
Oh!
Good job. Wow, nice job. 100. You know what? We never did see his hands. I think he might have been on his phone.
He might have
looking that
been.
up.
You're going to love the
right.
book, Dog Eat Dog and Vice Versa by Jerry Rossi.
And the book, perhaps Todd could autograph this for you even. Wow.
Well, I think we gave him a downloaded copy. He read it a week ago. But if you want a real one, we'll send you a hardbound copy as well.
We'll give you a download copy of this gift card. That'll be fun.
Don't send them to me. I'll come and pick them up.
Okay, I like that better. Awesome. And we'll see you in October unless we can be on each other's shows again. But great job today. I think you were able to help a lot of agents just by the stuff you've shared. And there are a lot of people that need a lot of help right now. And I think this was a valuable time for them.
Well, that's awesome. I just want to make sure that Lisa and Jim, you guys are both with us at the annual Floyd Wickman event.
I'll make sure they're there. I'll make it happen.
I would love to be. For some reason, you guys always schedule that, right?
In Dallas last year.
Exactly. When I'm out of town, they're always scheduled for the last 2 years.
Gary, we want to have you back on the show in a few months too. If you'd like to come back on, we just want to hear what you're doing right before the holidays. Because this is going to be an interesting year as we continue on through 2020. I think it's just going to continue to be interesting. And I think the agents could learn a lot from you. If we can have you on again in a couple months, that would be so great.
Perfect.
All right. Awesome.
Awesome, brother.
All right, we'll do it.
An extra chair? Do you have an extra chair there? I could just join you in studio.
That would be lovely.
We actually do, yes.
Yes. You can come on in. You may regret it. You can come in the studio.
The next contest is an all-expense paid trip to Sarasota.
There you go.
All right. Well,
exactly, yeah. And lodging is at the penthouse at the Motel 6. So that's an oxymoron. I don't think they have a penthouse there.
Right.
They still leave the light on for you, though.
They do. Something's not burnt out. And they haven't replaced that for a while. Thank you very much, Gary, and thank you for joining us on today's show. It's, of course, brought to you by Prospects Plus, featuring all of the great products that we mentioned today. ProspectsPLUS.com is their website. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Take care.